Hi friends, the process of story writing is used in many selection processes in our country. Wherever the psychological makeup of a candidate is a must, like in defense, paramilitary forces, and maybe in certain job postings in the corporate world, this process of story writing, or we call it as a stimulus or a reaction, is used exclusively. Yesterday, I had posted a video in Hindi about a successful candidate who had handled this negative theme and cleared the SSB. Friends, today this video is an English version of the same video which I posted yesterday with minor modifications for those friends who are used to writing in English. Friends, welcome to Rahagir India Students Adda, your one-stop destination for all defense and SSB related information. If you haven't still subscribed to our channel, please do so before you miss out on important information. Friends, this system is based on the process of stimulus and response. It is believed that if a similar stimulus is given to you and you are given less time to write on that or to react on that, your response is generally conditioned by your psychological makeup and previous experiences. Hence, whatever you respond at that time shows your psychology and similar reactions you are going to do in future. Friends, the same is explained by two famous examples. In one of the example is of dog and the food. In first condition, the dog is shown food. He starts salivation. In second condition, in this example, a whistle is blown and there is no reaction from the dog. In the third condition, whistle and food are both presented at the same time. So the dog, he sees food, he sees whistle or hears the whistle and starts salivation. In the fourth condition, only the whistle is blown. But since the dog is conditioned to seeing food with the whistle, he starts salivating. Similarly, second example is of Adam, who is a small child. Once he is shown a neutral stimulus like a white rat, he becomes very happy. Second sign, a sound of hammer hitting a steel bar is made for the child. He fears it and starts crying. In the third time, a stimulus is presented in which the white rat is there and also the sound is made. Again, he starts fearing it. Fourth time, once only the mice is shown to him, in which he had become happy for the first instance, he again starts fearing him and starts crying. Thus, whatever response our brain is used to by seeing certain stimulus, the same response is given by that brain once a similar stimulus is presented to him. Therefore, the same principle is used by story writing the psychologist and they gauge our brain. If we talk about selection to defense services, the same is done by SSB selection process. In this SSB selection process, PPDT, I mean picture perception and description test and thematic perception test are these two tests wherein the story writing technique is used. PPDT is used for screening wherein only one story has to be written. The picture or the stimulus is generally a hazy picture and you have to write a story on that. In TAT, you have to write 12 stories and the stories are relatively more clearer. Friends, there are different type of stimuluses which are given to you during psychological testing. Some are positive stimuluses, some are neutral and sometimes some are negative stimuluses. And you psychologically becomes quite bare when the negative stimulus is given because that is sometimes tricky and your psychology or your brain generally gives out the reactions what you are used to it. Hence, you should be able to handle all type of stimuluses, especially the negative stimuluses. Today, we will talk about the negative stimulus. Friends, it's important to understand what is a negative stimulus, then only you will be able to handle that stimulus, accept it and write a story on that. One of the negative stimulus is on death. If you can see somebody who's dead, don't try to make up a story that he's just donating organs or something like that. If somebody is dead, please accept it as dead and write a story that way. Other negative themes can be a scene of accident where you can actually see somebody lying down or bleeding. It can be a natural calamity or like an earthquake or flood. Other than that, there are certain social stigmatic problems which can also be shown to you as part of negative themes like untouchability, child labor or women discrimination. You should be able to handle them. Sometimes a provocative type of theme is given to you so that your reaction to the opposite sex or to the ladies, especially now many of the girls are joining the uniform, that can be gauged from that the stimulus. Hence, you should be very careful once you handle such type of negative stimuli. Now, let's see how you should handle the negative stimulus. Friends, The first step in handling negative stimulus is to accept it. Don't try to run away from it. See the background, analyze the picture for 30 to 40 seconds. See how many people are there, what type of situation is there, how that situation is happening. Then go to the second step. In the second step, gentlemen, build the story. Select a hero. Think of 2 to 3 possible themes, outcomes, and out of them, select one. It might be, there may be so many themes which you can build on one story. So, out of them, you should be able to think that any theme which leads to a positive outcome in the end, that outcome you should be able to select. Third part is producing that story what you have thought of. Give a background. What all things were there, how many people were there, what they were doing, what led to the present situation. That is the main part. How this thing has happened, what is happening in the story, how that negative thing has happened there. Then actions taken by the hero. That is very important. You start the story by the name, by your hero, write what all action he has taken, how he handled that negative outcome, and what was the final result of that. And once you complete that, that is your story. Now friends, let's take a real picture which was shown in one of the SSBs, and a candidate who had practiced it in our group actually successfully wrote the same story and cleared the SSB process. Look at this picture. Analyze it for 30 to 40 seconds. What do you see here? You see two characters, one is male and another is female. The female is there on the bed and she is holding this person by her arms, and this seems to be a very sensuous picture. I will share certain responses which came up in our group. The first response, in which the student wrote, he wrote about a Rahim who is a mechanical engineer. One day he came from office and found that the geyser of his house had blasted. His wife was lying on the floor. He picked her up, called the doctor, and after some time she became alright. Once I analyze this story, friends, I'll call it that he is written about the geyser blasting. However, in the story, you can't see any such thing. Hence, what I'll say is that whatever he has written, it is generally okay. However, he is written out of stimulus. The main portion of his story is not there, what has been shown in the picture. Now, look at the second response. Here he is written about Raju, who is a student of a university. One day, he went to his classmate's house. He found that Rima, who is his classmate, she is lying unconscious on the floor. He picked her up and called the doctor, and thereafter she became fine. This is a similar type of story like number one. Here he is invented an accident which is actually not happened and written about that. So here also it's out of stimulus. And secondly, if you look at the girl, she is not unconscious. She has put her arms around the boy, and hence he has not been able to read the stimulus. Both the responses 1 and 2 have not been able to read what has been given correctly in the picture. Third response, friends, is straight from a Bollywood movie. Herein he is written about Sid and Rita, who are biological students, and one day when they were reading, Rita felt sensuous and asked Sid to be intimate with her. But Sid said that no, it's not good something to do like this before marriage. She became very impressed with him, and later on they became very close, and then they got married. So gentlemen, if you see, it's too imaginative, it's impractical and seems like a Bollywood movie. Therefore, if you are writing for such type of stories, you are more suited to be an artist and not as an army officer. That gives some sort of impracticality in such type of response. Lastly, the response which was finally selected, herein he talks about Sid, a Kshitij, a BA honors student who was very interested in acting. He worked hard on his acting, but from being from a rural background, did get too many chances. Once he went to college, during annual day preparations, he volunteered to play the role of Romeo in the play Romeo and Juliet. He read the complete book, worked very hard on it, and on the final day, he played the role perfectly. Herein, you can see the scene from the play of Romeo and Juliet. Few local producers who were there, they attended the function and later called him and gave him a chance to act in some professional plays. He was very happy. So gentlemen, here it's like an imaginative story. He has handled this stimulus in a very imaginative manner and made sure that the negative stimulus which was given to him is shown in a very positive light. This is one way to handle such type of tricky situations, and hence you can do that. On our part, in our channel in Rahagir India, we have handled TAT and picture perception test very deliberately. You can go to our videos, see how to write a story, what type of stories are there, how they are assessed, and how you can prepare yourself. I have given the complete information about the SSB process, screening test, how the PPDT you should handle, how you should process in the group interview and how you should come out of it successfully. Our channel has got all the videos for your SSB preparation. Please watch them. Don't waste your money on the coaching. Prepare yourself and become successful officers. Friends, thanks for watching. Do subscribe to this channel. Share it. Thank you.